A New York City socialist is facing backlash after defending her wealthy background on social media and saying it's her duty to use her privilege to support the less fortunate. Now, Grace Ryan is a 25-year-old member of the Democratic Socialists of America who worked for leftist Brad Lander's congressional campaign this summer. She's also the daughter of a millionaire Ohio chocolatier and has a history of flaunting that wealth on social media. Ryan responded to the backlash, writing this, quote, "Everyone's trying to dunk on me for being a progressive from a privileged background. But like, have y'all never heard of noblesse oblige? I have a moral obligation to use my advantages to help those who are struggling." But that just generated even more backlash. And it's just the latest example of a trend of wealthy leftists thinking that they know what's best for the working class. Ryan and her comrades are simply out of touch, says one analyst. He told the New York Post, quote, "It's really easy to have all these crazy thoughts about, well, policing should work this way and ownership should work in this way, and yet you guys have maximum benefits. It's like the Pied Piper leading people to destruction. You are really giving people a disservice to have a safety net, and you can run back to mommy and daddy whenever you decide to give this up." Alicia, quite a pattern that we have seen resonating, where people say, sure, you espouse all of these concepts from your seat of privilege and comfort, but it's us that has to pay that price.
And absolutely no experience in any of it. It just sounds so condescending to me. So The Gothamist, this online nonprofit newspaper, I don't know, publication.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a reporter that decided to go to this bookstore. It's an anarchist bookstore. And I've never heard of that before. But this reporter wanted to know what people on, like, way left thought of this co-chair of the DSA here in New York, who, it was found out, is living in his parents' $1.5 million townhouse in, I believe, the Brooklyn area. And she went to talk to them, and the headline of her story was, "At Anarchist Bookstore, news of New York City socialist leader's $1.5 million home met with a shrug." And it was so telling, some of the things that were said. She interviewed someone who said, "It's not the end of the world." He explained parental help was all too common among you New Yorkers. But the best line was, "If you're not benefiting a little, then you're just not struggling." Well, yeah, that's the point. And it's, again, so condescending, because they feel so bad that they grew up so well that now they want to change a system they know nothing about with plans that make no sense to help them.
It's sort of Karl Marxy, in my opinion. Certainly born into privilege and wealth and then squandered it, because his publications about revolution didn't sell so well. But it is such a luxury to be able to have time, since you don't have to work and actually put food on the table, to just espouse ridiculous ideas that have been, I think, come from indoctrinating at college campuses. Like, what happened to the generation of getting into philanthropy and actually learning the business?
Yeah, it's very Marxian, but with a Gen Z twist.
Yeah.
I see that in particular,
Totally.
this sense of entitlement from this young woman who clearly has no life experience. It's also ironic that she claims that she has to use her privilege to help people. What are you doing then to actually help people? And also, the privilege that she's claiming to have is really wealth, and it's not even hers. It's her mom and dad's. Yeah. So what are you exactly doing here? But you know what? It's not just Gen Z or socialists who are like this. All Democrats are now like this. I think about Ro Khanna, who's currently out shilling for the billionaire tax in California. He wants billionaires essentially to take out loans from the government to pay a mandatory 5% tax on their wealth, whether it's liquidated or illiquidated. And yet he is sitting on a fortune around $400 million. His kids make millions of dollars per year. They're all under 10 years old, by the way, but they have stakes in private golf courses in Ohio where they're making millions of dollars from that. And he's claiming that he opposes a system where you can hoard wealth instead of spreading it around. And yet that's exactly what he's doing. So they're all hypocrites on this, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very interesting the way that she responded, acting as if, well, listen, I have this moral obligation, as if there is not any difference between a moral obligation and a government obligation. No one is saying if you don't want to go out and help people that you shouldn't do that, or that's never been done before or never been suggested before. The difference and the branding that socialism has gotten has been very positive for what it is, actually. These people see themselves, and a lot of other people see them as, well, we just want health care. Listen, we just want people to have what they need, as if the rest of us don't also want that. We just don't believe that this is the right way to do it, given the track record it's had all these other times that it's been tried. There is a difference between generosity, which is a good thing, and coercion, which is what socialism is. And I really think that it's had a better branding than what the history is, and particularly in these younger generations. And I think that people who are capitalists, myself included, have to be explaining that, have to do a better job of explaining, listen, we see you, we know it's tough out there. This is how capitalism is the answer. This is how socialism and government involvement is part of the reason certain things are more highly priced than they should be. And this is how this will make it more difficult. But we shouldn't let people so easily spin it into just, oh, well, you never heard of being generous? Oh, listen, I just want people to have health care. Or listen, because it's not about that. It's about whether it works or not, which we know this doesn't.
That's why I argue that, the parental responsibility here was, I guess it either landed on deaf ears or it was non-existent. Because most children wake up understanding capitalism, understanding how hard their parents work. That's all of our stories. When we talk about our immigrant relatives and what happened, we can trace down the line the hard work and effort it took to get us our education or whatever it is. So I don't understand the disconnect where this young girl, she's $70,000 a year tuition and all of her Tony schools and all of her luxurious lifestyle, that her conclusion from that was, I should give all of this up. My dad didn't work hard for this.
Yeah, and she's not giving up anything, first of all. As soon as it touches her, she's all of a sudden going to be to the right of all of us. Yeah. Look, there's an old saying, it's easy to be a holy man on a mountain, all right? She's on the mountain, and she's dictating, right? We all know it's nonsense. It's performative. To Kat's point, it is simply branding. There's even branding in her statement, y'all. Y'all? She's from Ohio. All right, please. All right, so this is all nonsense. And the thing that I think really we should focus on, to the parental point, is that why are we surprised? Because I got to go back to the egg here. We had 2-3 years where this generation was locked down and were taking their dictates from a Marxist meme, Marxist indoctrination on TikTok, controlled by China. So now we're surprised. Notice they're not Russian-looking. They're Maoists. Hassan Piker shows up dressed like Chairman Mao. None of that's an accident. While they were all locked down, they were fed a steady stream every day on TikTok that Chinese communism / Maoism is the way to go. Now we're shocked that they're all around cosplaying as CCP members. That's what we're dealing with now. You just can hope, what can you do? You got to hope they grow out of it, because they're younger than we are, and they get to vote. And now they put in a Maoist, essentially, as the mayor of the most important city in the West.
Ugh. I'm gonna go hide under the bed. All right. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.